Hello, my friends. We are we are in Oslo, Norway. We are moving closer to the retreat in a week's time, where we will kind of move through some energy. We're building up towards a retreat, so we are thus getting prepared, kind of seeing what we are bringing into this retreat, whether you are already signed up, or you might be wondering if you're going to sign up, or you might be a little late. There is an intention in every retreat. There is an intention every time you in a retreat to kind of move energy. There's an intention to get to the next level. Just like our spine has many vertebrae, we can kind of move up our consciousness, our level of energy. So that's what we're doing here. That's what we're intending to move beyond, like social construct, which this one is called. So we kind of look these last weeks before the energy is kind of already set. So the ones that already feel it, they kind of you might know that it's already kind of building up towards this weekend. And for others, you might just kind of use this as like one integral moment of potential of opening up energy, opening up your consciousness, opening up to life, opening up to reality. So I look pretty warm today. It is a warm day in in uh, in Oslo. So I'm grateful for the people that pop in or that will appear later. But yeah, the social constructs, it's kind of a well used word these days, because it has kind of been used ever since the 60s. Even before, it's like every teenage or youthful gathering of people, every part of humanity that kind of comes into, the study, into school, into college, like the hippies, they kind of come to this, that we want to break out of the social constructs of the past. So we have seen it try to break out of the rich mentality, the the masculine mentality, the white mentality, the heterosexual mentality. There's all these breaking out, because we think that breaking out, we need to change society. So when we kind of go into these changes, we have a tendency to kind of put a lot of energy into it, and thus it can kind of become a little aggressive, like revolution. If we think revolution, instead of realizing that when you kind of go into a revolution, a lot of times you get one change and you get a feeling of freedom for a while, but then you kind of poop out. So a lot of people that was like the hippies, they kind of died out, and they become like normal citizens wherever they are. So people that just like, ooh, I'm just getting a teacher training or coaching or different things, they might just poop out. They might do yoga, they might do Tai Chi and meditate for a while, but they're doing it as a desperation. So they kind of, after a while, they just poop out and they just go back to normal life. They've had an experience of awakening, but their follow through kind of lacks. And that's why we kind of think that we kind of have this idea that we have to use a lot of energy. We have to force things. It's kind of a teenage or like a kind of childish way of thinking, but it is easy to think like we have to put a lot of energy into something and have to force it through. Seems easy. But there are many layers to awakening. If you really look at all the social constructs that are within us, within our ego, we have all these within, like masculine, feminine, sexuality, like identity, like parents, kids, how you behave, how you work, how you act with your girlfriends. All these things are kind of social constructs. So you kind of feel it, and then you think like, well, they're kind of set in stone. And then sometimes you're like, oh, I'm not gonna do like them. I'm gonna live in the woods. I'm gonna just push away. I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna be opposite. So you become like a rebel. You become like a feminist, or you become all kinds of different, become a socialist or different kind of things. So you kind of take an opposite stand, and you become like a warrior. And the warrior becomes like so hard, and it becomes so, yeah, a warrior goes into war. When you go into war, you are in war, which is truly the opposite of awakening in reality. When you kind of see that the journey is further, there's more steps. So when you really dare to like realize that any awakening, any realization is not the end goal. There are more fluid steps. There's like waves. And when you, instead of pushing up like stairs, you can use it as waves. You just use your paddleboard, your surfboard, and then you float up. You surf to the next one. So then you kind of harness the energy. You simplify, and thus the energy of yourself can keep going. Well, many people kind of stop after one, like, oh, I feel more peaceful, I feel more empowered, or I feel more feminine, I feel more masculine, I feel a better parent, I feel like a better person, I'm better Norwegian or American or all this stuff. So they stop. But that's just one level, there's more. So here we kind of look at all these different levels so we can start seeing the journey, that we can start riding the wave, and thus as new levels. So the wave keeps going, we can moving beyond, riding the wave of moving beyond constructs. And thus we kind of create this freedom within, the freedom which is ourselves, the freedom which is our naturalness as a human, a naturalness that is connected to life. So it is kind of opposite of much of life, where people desperately wants to place themselves in different places. And here we kind of see like you can work together with life, that life isn't the enemy, humanity isn't the enemy, the social construct isn't, they are not the enemy. well, there has to be some kind of constructs that you can serve. So there has to be some kind of matrix of life, matrix of society. We need some way of talking to each other, somewhere to look that, oh, I'm not bound to the constructs. I can engage with them, I can enjoy them, but I'm also free of them. It's like I can use my clothes, but I can also be naked when I want to. I can go to the beach and have my bikini or my bathing suit on, but I can also go to a nude beach, or I can skinny dip whenever I want. Where you can be into the constructs, but you can also be free of them. And you're always naked at the bottom, so it's kind of allowing yourself to see the clothing you wear and not be stuck in it. You can smile and you can be like, yes, I'm wearing the suit or whatever, but you also know that you are not the suit. You are beyond. So that is moving beyond. So that is what we're doing here. And it is a kind of a week's time to retreat. So a lot of you are probably feeling it. So we have these Wednesdays, Wisdom Wednesdays, or relaxing with Henrik, or whatever you call it. It's a time to tune in and to tap into and to kind of calibrate yourself, as this journey is kind of it is a little heavy sometimes when you really get confronted with these constructs. So that kind of is the reminder that we have to kind of look at what is our intention, or else we might just get lost. But lost in the fog, a haze, a mind fuck, emotionally depressed or angry or desperate. Well, we can move into a place of elevation and enjoyment. That is the choice that is offered, and yet you have to receive it. You have to choose it. So that's the beauty of it. And we are a week away, and if you haven't still decided if you want to, like these, I will probably have another one in next Wednesday, probably, as we kind of move closer to the retreat. Where it's going to come up stuff. So for some people, you might not feel anything until you're there, and then you might feel it a few weeks after. Everybody's different, but it will change as you change. So some people will be there physically in Norway. Other people will watch it from abroad on vacation or in America. It's going to be many people watching from many places. So it's going to be together American, and the physical and the online. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be challenging, triggering, awakening, joyous, playful, danceful, lovely. So, and the words I speak they're not necessarily the most important. It is daring to show up, daring to partake, daring to contribute, the choice. So we're kind of building up the choice, and we're opening up the dreams to what is manifesting in this retreat for everyone. It's a little different for everyone, so that's the beauty of it. So anyway, we're gonna move into the second part, where you kind of close your eyes, or you can keep watching, or just watch out in the blue sky like I do, with the sun just blazing, and you kind of just drop your shoulders a little bit, drop your hips a little bit, letting that kind of base into the genitals, into your hips, into your butt kind of sink down, so that it kind of allow that energy to kind of move into the feet, into the thighs, into the toes, into the knees, down to the roots. And then we kind of allow it to sink back into our spine, into our shoulders, into our back, sinking back into our chair or in our bed or in our couch. Just letting that wave of energy, wave of breath, wave of air just come on in. And it kind of lifts through us, lifts to our hips, lifts to our chest, lifts to our face, like the yawn, our jaw, letting it go, opening it up. And then it comes both from our head and our toes out into a beautiful just embrace as we allow the energy of now, the energy of today, the energy of this session, the energy of something that you've been carrying on, the energy of a question or a worry, the energy of a love, just to dissipate into forgetfulness, into peace, into beauty, into the nothingness of the now. Yes. Perfect. And yeah, if you still have some questions, let me know. The retreat is unscripted. It's still naked. Has no clothes on yet, so you are invited to join if you haven't yet. And you will get more information on DMs or wherever if you have some friends that coming, and ask them. And it's going to be a beautiful experience. Yes. I wish you a beautiful Wednesday, and we'll talk soon.